And
hey, look at Tom Cruise over here. You know how Tom Cruise always grows his hair out? Where's he? Where did he go? Where did you go, bro? Where did you go to Nashville?
He's talking about me. I got my hair growing out, dude.
Truck.
You're not in the truck. I saw you.
I'm in the truck.
You are not in the truck. Let me see.
Yep.
Let me see. Where you at, bro? Let me see. Oh, he's not allowed to talk.
These are my fades.
Look at his hair, how long he's grown out. Geez. No.
I
Did you cut it from the back?
I got a haircut.
You got a haircut, okay.
Yep.
So I'll talk. I'm going to talk about what I did this past week, and then how I related it back to junk removal. So this past weekend, I went to the Hunters Convention in Pennsylvania. I went by myself, and it was a convention where the haunt owners go and see the new technology out there, kind of like the Junk Expo oh my God, Matt and JoJo are doing. It's just exactly like that, and it's a convention for new technologies, new ideas, and the way they run their business. I talk to a lot of owners, and out of all the owners, nobody knows who the hell I am. So I'm like the new kid on the block that, where are you from? And I explain myself, and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, I've never heard of you. Okay, whatever. And it's funny because in this industry, people recognize me, but they don't recognize me in my new industry too. So that's not the point. The point is, junk removal owners are so stuck to earning our first $10,000 in junk removal. And then they're stuck on making that $10,000, $50,000. Does that sound right, Nick? When I say something like that? We're kind of concentrating on that mission.
Maybe. I think so.
Right?
I don't know.
I mean, what Carson, what do you think? Is that how we think our mindset is when it comes financially? Are we thinking?
Can you repeat that again?
Yeah. The mindset of a junk removal owner is to make his first $10,000 and then make his next $50,000. Does that sound right to you?
Are you talking about like a month?
No, just overall to save in the bank, to put it in the bank.
Oh yeah, well I mean I think everybody throws around the whole how to make $10,000 a month and junk removal, $1,000 a day. So that's definitely the entry point. So if you make more than that, you're probably not going to see that clickbait.
Right. I don't see a lot of people on the internet saying, make your first $100,000 in a month. I just don't see that. I don't see that when it comes to our industry. Is that correct? There's not a lot of videos that say, make your first $100,000 in a month.
Never seen it.
Right. I've never seen it. Right.
I think it's virtually impossible to make $100,000 in a month.
Oh yeah. And especially in junk removal. And
yeah,
here's the reality check. What happened to me this weekend. Fucking this is gonna throw you all off. These guys weren't worried about making their first $100,000 in a month. These guys were worried about how they're gonna go from $3 million to $5 million, $4 million to $5 million. I talked to one owner and he said that he's open 18 days out of the month of October, and he's trying to bring in extra merchandise in because he's trying to get over the $14 million mark. Because he's been doing 13.3, 13.4, 13.2, 13, and he's trying to get over the $14 million mark.
Is that what he brings home?
That's revenue. And he said he's at 42% mark. So he'll take home a little under 6 something.
Not bad.
I was talking to a guy named John, and John, who's out of Ohio, and he said that his business, he owns a whole shopping regardless. And I was talking to him. I said, John, what's the biggest play in this business? And he said, when it comes to finances, and he said, well, Ricardo, we went from 3 million to 4 million to 5 million in just 3 years. And then we got stuck at 5 million. And I couldn't figure out how to grow the business for $5 million. And I was thinking, that number doesn't exist to us in 1 month. And these guys are doing it in 18 days. And it was such a different mindset that they have, that we have. And it just blew me away. And I kept on thinking, man, how many junk removal owners are there out there that suffer and have a hard time just getting $10,000 a month, or just putting away? And I'm going to say, just putting away $10,000 in the bank. And I think we know, I've had a hard time putting 10,000. Nick, I'm pretty sure we've all had some months where it's hard to even put $1,000 or $10,000 on a good week, especially if you have 5 kids, especially if you have a mortgage, you have cars. Vince, I think you know that because you have a shitload of kids and you're Mexican, right? We know that you're making a lot of money, but it's also hard to put away a lot of money and save that money.
To be clear, I'm actually half white, half Mexican. My mom looks whiter than Carson, and she has blue eyes.
You're Mexican, Vince. Stop fucking lying.
That's pretty white, man.
No, I'm being dead serious.
Are you a Mexican or a Mexican?
Hey, I just look like this, bro. I barely know any Spanish.
Are you a garbage can
sabo.
or garbage can?
No sabo.
Are we done here? Are we done? So the point was, it's our mindset, how it is in junk removal. We think so small, and we receive small rewards for it. In the haunted house business, these guys, hey Nick, these guys that I'm talking to, 4 of the guys, one of them has been doing it for 32 years. The other guy's been doing it for 35 years. Another guy's been doing it for 20, 18, 9. And one thing that really rattled me really bad was this guy. I talked to a guy that was been in the business for 34 years. He makes a little over $13 million in his business. And then I talked to a guy that's been doing it for 32 years. Guess how much they make?
15 million.
50 million, right? So you would think it's a big number. And I said, so how much revenue do y'all pump in? He said $800,000. I said, well, you're in the wrong effing business. I don't know. He was really, I just couldn't justify what the heck you've been doing for 32 years. He's been doing it less than 2 years than the other guy has. And this guy's at 13, and this guy is at $800,000, he said. I was like, what's going on with the business? It was pretty funny just talking to him about it. Another thing that really caught me off guard was this. Nobody in this business is dumb.
Nobody's what?
Dumb.
Yeah.
Everybody's very educated in this business. I didn't talk to one idiot out there. I did talk to a guy that wasn't all there, and he inherited a haunted house from his brother who passed away in a motorcycle wreck. And he was pretty dumb. But did you hear what I said? Inherited it and took over the business that his brother left at the age of 58. None of these guys can. Your name's Jose. You live in DFW. You can get in your truck. You can get a trailer, and you can start posting on Craigslist. Make a Facebook, and you're off. You're off and running. You own the junk removal service. It's called Jose's Junk Removal DFW. Nobody can go and start a haunted house business that's in junk removal. No. And just start off jumping off the couch, signing a 5-year to 10-year lease for a piece of property, employing 60 employees. And I realized the difficulty in the intelligence you have to have something like that. And that's something I noticed really quick when I was talking to these guys. But I did notice things that we are alike in this business and things that made me go, okay, we're not that far along. So in this group, I want you to kind of think about it. Which perspectives of the business, financially, physically, property-like, internet-like, are we the same? What are we the same? We're all trying to make money. Damn, Vince. What are we alike? Can someone help me out here? Let's take some guesses at this. What are we doing the same thing? Everybody. I made notes.
Hustling, baby. Hustling. Everybody's hustling, grinding.
What did you say, Henario?
Everybody's hustling, grinding.
Okay, that's just worth ethic. I want to get a little bit more technical. About
You
what'd you
You
say?
gotta market yourself over and over and over. You can never stop marketing.
All right, let's go. That's one right there. Okay, that's good, Herrera. I'm surprised you do it because you definitely don't do a lot of marketing for your own business. All right, but I'm surprised you answer that. And let me tell you, Herrera, you are absolutely correct. Marketing and promoting the business. Both businesses rely on getting the word out. Haunted houses use advertising. They use social media, local partnerships, and often word of mouth to build an anticipation for ticket sales. All right. And you, Vince, you, Herrera, you, Benario, as a junk removal owner, you use online marketing skills. You use local SEO, flyers, yard signs, networking to connect with potential clients. There you go. Needing your services. The channel's different, a little different, but the goal is to reach the potential customers. It's the same thing. And I wrote that down as one of them. So Herrera, you got a point there. You're up, okay? All right. And I'm going to tell you something. When I told my sister, Emily, I'm going to teach you how to do SEO. I'm going to teach you how to rank the website for the haunted house. I'm going to get us to the first page. It's going to take me about 9 months to a year. She said, just teach me how to do it. And one of the first things I taught her was local SEO. I want to, when you type in Fort Worth haunted house, that our haunted house would come up first. And now it does. And now we're going in different directions. So it's the same way, the same things that I use in junk removal, I used in the haunted house business. Now, Carson, some of the methods that I use, what do you think are my biggest platforms when it comes to the haunted house that I use in junk removal?
I think you said TikTok, right?
Yeah, I use TikTok a lot. Yeah. Yep. I used a lot of TikTok. Was one of my perennial powerhouses. I guess I used TikTok in junk removal.
You had local people come visit your haunted house too, and kind of like do like reviews and stuff like that. Like I don't even know what you call them, tour guides or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we gave them free tickets to come and they were promoters for TikTok. So we said, come and visit the haunted house. We'll let you. It was promotional night. And we let them inside the haunted house for free. We showed everybody, we told all the employees, these guys scare the hell out of them. And we got great reviews out of it. But not only that, they posted it on the page and we had more people come in. And it was a big hit for us. But we do the same thing that we do in junk removal. We focus on marketing and promotion. And Arthur, you were absolutely on the money. Okay. Something else that we all relate from haunted house owners to junk removal, something that is the same. Think about it, guys. What do we do?
I will say one thing to mention before I gotta go. One thing that's different though is you always talk about how you're willing to scale the haunted house. With removal, it's like at what point do you say, all right, like this is good, like let's stop it at this level, right? So like you're talking about these guys that do like 13, 15 million. Well, like, you know, if you were to franchise junk removal, you could technically claim those same numbers. So what's the difference in the awe factor that you have with these, you know, $15 million guys in the haunted house world versus junk removal?
Great question. That's a great question. Here's your answer to that. I've realized that in junk removal, one truck, one location, 10 employees, 15 employees cannot do it. Cannot reach that $1 million mark. If you have 5 or 6 trucks, and I'm talking about, when I say million, I'm physically saying profit, revenue, 3 million, 60% profit, $1 million. I mean, 60% revenue. I mean, profit margin, $1 million. In junk removal, I don't see that reality. And in the haunted house, you do it one time a year, Carson. You do it for 18 days, and you can get to that $1 million a lot quicker. You don't have to kill yourself to beat yourself up. Arthur, Vince, everybody, we work hard to make good money to provide for our family, and that's a great American thing. But in the haunted house business, it's a totally different business. You just scare people 18 days out of the month, and you can actually grow the haunted house a lot faster than you can grow the junk removal business. Did that answer your question?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So anybody else got anything that relates? I wrote a few notes down that I noticed that we are almost potentially the same from haunted houses to junk removal. Arthur answered one of them. We all promote, we all market. What's another one? Anybody? Or we're almost the same. Customer service and reviews. Good job. Good job. We're coming on strong. Who said that? All right, Marco, you are absolutely right. Okay. I recognize that really quick. A lot of these owners in junk removal, I'm sorry, I'm going to go back. A lot of these owners in the haunted house business rely on customer service. And I'm thinking, but then Junk Guys relies on customer service too. A haunted house wants guests to have a thrilling, a safe experience, an encouraging, repeat visitors, and positive reviews. And for the Junk Guys, positive customer service leads to referrals, a strong reputation, and both of us understand that happy customers, whether they're screaming or relieved they got the garage clean, are essential for long-term success. So you are absolutely right. I realized when I was at this thing, a lot of these owners from the haunted houses rely on word of mouth, rely on focusing on customer experience. Okay? I think a lot of us have repeat customers. I think a lot of us rely on repeat customers and customer contracts to keep on moving forward. Okay? Lonnie, you got a question, buddy?
Well, I was thinking one of the key assets that you bring to the table for your haunted house that you probably share with the other haunted house owners is the ability to delegate and have people do those things for you.
Right. Keep talking.
I think that would be a huge asset to learn to learn how to do that and how to manage other people, because you can't do it all yourself in those two haunted houses that you own.
Right.
So you're able to have these tasks. You're okay with having other people do these tasks for you. You don't have to be involved, and you know that they're going to do it. That's a huge asset that I see that you have, that I'm sure that you share that with the other people or the other owners.
Way to go, Lonnie. So good job. Good observation. We're hitting home runs on this one. Lonnie's right. Talking to Brandon, an owner of a haunted house out of Massachusetts, he said, well, how do you manage to have these two haunted houses? And I told him, I have my brother and my sister running one of the haunted houses, and I run the other one. He goes, oh, so you have a big family? I said, yes, of course, we're Mexican. Oh, yeah, definitely. And having that advantage, Lonnie, made them open their eyes, and they're like, wow, why don't I have a family member running one of my haunted houses? And they were like, that's such an advantage that I have over other owners. Now, I will tell you, Lonnie, that there was owners that do have brothers, and they focus on one haunted house, only one, which was a great idea too. They make a lot of money, a lot more than I'll ever make. But they don't branch that brother out. And one thing that I told them, they kept on asking me, how do you delegate, but how do you manage? The word was manage. How do you manage everything? And I said, well, I let them, and I told them, I gave them the aspects of how they run the business and how I run my haunted house, that they kind of take that haunted house as their own baby, like I take my haunted house as my own baby. But yeah, that's a great observation. That's really smart. Okay. What's another one that came up? Okay. I have to wonder, when you get into 7 and 9 figures, how much trust will they have? Hey, brother, Lonnie, I'm telling you, I have no idea, bro. I have no idea. I thought about that so much. When the guy was telling me that he was going from 13 to 14 and he was having a hard time from 13 to 13, and I was thinking in my head, I know he's saying $1 million. I'm thinking, how do you trust anybody? Well, this guy, and I'll tell you this, the name of the company is called Field of Screams. They're in PA. This guy has his wife only work the box office. That's all she does. They have 7 box offices. When you pull in, you park, the first thing you see is the box office. And they give you a wristband, and then you head about 100 yards away into where people check the wrists. And then you go, but 7 box offices, that's how busy they stay. So we have one, dude. Herrera, you saw it. We have one, bro. We have 1 box office. We don't have 7. And the wife is 100% the only person that manages everybody there, because of theft, I guess, of theft. So he has it down. But yeah, how do you trust people like that? Well, my brother and my sister, I have to trust them. I trust them that they made a lot of money for me this past year. And it's the same way. I mean, my wife, she takes care of my box office at my haunted house, and my sister takes care of the box office at her haunted house. So I have to trust them. I have no choice if we're going to make eventually $1 million in a few years in this business. Okay. But that was a great question. Okay. How do we relate the businesses together? How are they both coinciding? How do they work together? Somebody tell me something. How do they both work together? We knocked out the marketing, the promotions, and the customer service on both of them. But what's another thing that we both relate to, both businesses? The junk removal and the haunted house business. How do they work? Anybody? Think about it, guys. I thought about this a lot when I was in PA. Our equipment. Who said that one? Yes, Junk Guy is okay. Junk Guy is awesome. So one thing that I realized when I was there, their equipment's a lot more than our equipment. Everybody thinks about buying these trailers for $30,000, $35,000 or spending $100,000. Oh, hey, where? Fred, are you there, Fred? Fred, where's Fred at? Okay. So like Fred has spent a lot of money on dumpster trailers, on dumpsters. And I was thinking in my head, wow, he spent $100,000. One of these guys, animatronics, just one of them, cost a little over $80,000. And I was like, you spent how much? And it's like a big old demon. I mean, he's like 15 feet high, and he moves and he comes out like this, and he comes out 80 grand. Think about the money he's making to pay that. And he has animatronics all over his haunted house. I mean, this guy has a lot. But yes, equipment. In the haunted house, they have equipment. It's called animatronics. They have lighting. That's equipment. They have buzzards that go. They have compressors. That's equipment. We have compressors. Junk removal has compressors when a flat tire goes on. We have dumpsters. We have trailers. We have trucks. I related that the business both needs trucks and trailers, both need animatronics, hammers. Now, I mean, they're the same. And yes, you are absolutely right. That was on my list too. There's 3 more on my list that I wanted to get to that are really pretty good. But I want people to guess them out. So who else got something out there? Anybody else? How do we relate employees? Good job, Marco. What are you reading my notes? What are you reading my notes? Okay, it is employees. Now, it's a huge difference in employees, but yes, that was one of them, employees. Marco, you've got 2 of them. So when I talk to Brandon, I realized that Brandon employs over 300 employees for his haunted house. You heard me, 300. They average $120 a day for working 4 hours, 4 to 5 hours. And I said, well, how big are your numbers for that? He goes, well, we realized at one point we had 350 to 400 employees, and we knew we had too many employees. So it took us a few years to realize that having 30 to 40 employees in one haunted house, that we can actually do it with 25. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. He goes, for instance, the merchandise booth has 15 employees. The food trucks have 20 employees. We were able to scale it back, and they hit the number of 300. That way, they knew how much money they were making and how much money they can spend on employees. And guys, Marco's absolutely right. It is the employees. We all know in the junk removal business that one employee can kill you and two can murder you. But where is that quote line of going over having too many employees and having too less employees? And aren't you going to be doing all the job? Of course, in the haunted house, you need more employees to run haunted houses. You have to have them. But you also know the cutoff point. Me, I don't like working with anybody. I like making money for myself. And when I get big jobs, I contract them out. That is not possible in the haunted house business. You can't contract haunts. You can't hunt out scares. But you can also realize where is the breaking point. And to have 300 employees, think about how much is that? How much is that? 120 times 300 is payroll every night. What, can somebody have a calculator? Tell me how much that is. I never added it anyway, but I wanted to know. So it's 300 times 120. How much is that? Someone tell me. Because this guy was spending some money, and this is nightly. This is nightly. Okay. Who has a
$36,000.
This guy, and I'm going to tell you something, Vince. This guy was looking at me like $300 employees is nothing. We employ 60 at 200 houses. 200 of them. This guy employs 300 at 100 house and spends $36,000 a night. That's crazy. That is crazy. And he goes for 18 days, and times that times 36,000 times 18. See how much that is? Because that's how much he spent the year in salary. How much is that number?
$648,000.
And that is only in employees. Oh my God. Can you imagine? Do you see how much money he can make now? Vince, the reality is how much money they can make in this business. Well, they've been doing it for so long. And I just, my eyes were whopped. I mean, they were just like lighting up, and I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Me too. I was like, what? Here's another thing. One of the things that I did realize is that we target, and this is one of the things I wrote down. We target and we understand our target audience. If Carson was still on board, he would tell you that he markets to the rich people that are in Franklin and the rich people that are in his area. He understands his target audience. And I think all of us in time understand our target. Does anybody, like Marco, do you understand your target audience? Alex, do you understand it? Indio? I mean, can someone relate to this and kind of know where the customers are going to spend money and who's going to spend the money? Does anybody have that already? Anybody? How many people would he have to manage that many? How many people would he have to manage that many employees? Bro, I have no idea. Just 10, 20? I have no idea. As they target the audience, both need to deeply understand who they're trying to reach. And that's when I say both, a junk removal and a haunted house. A haunted house owner considers what scares people, what age groups he's interested in it, and what kind of thrill is going to get it, and the local demographic. I think, Lonnie, will you explain to the group how you knew my target audience and who they were? This is crazy. Let me tell you what happened. During a haunted house, we have someone at the door talking to the customer. Hey, how you doing? Where y'all from? And they would tell us, we're from this city and this city and this city. And we kind of have like a little pen, and we just write down the city. Like we'll put A's to it, we'll put down 2 people or 3, Arlington, 2 or 3 people. This is what happened. I came home and I got an email from Lonnie, and this is during the haunted house. This is last year. of October. He goes, "Hey, Ricardo, did you realize that you're targeting the city of blank blank? Are you getting a lot of customers from that?" And I was like, "What?" Lonnie, explain to me what you did to tell me that and how it worked out for you. Because he had hit it right on the dot. I had received like 60% of my customers from this little city, but I don't know how Lonnie did because he's across the country. Explain how you did that, Lonnie, and how you knew.
I used my SEO tools, Local Dominator, to find that.
And what city was it? Do you remember what city it was? Was it Lake Worth?
Oak Heights.
That's what it was. That's what it was. That's right. I was like blown away how he did that.
It was only like 7 miles from your location.
Yeah.
So
And he was-
it was less than 10 miles, but I think it was 7 miles if I remember right.
And you told me 2 cities. You had told me 2 cities where 1 and 2 were on my thing on my backboard back here. We have a little board that with a marker on it. You told me 2 cities, and both of them were 1 and 2. And Lonnie knew it. I didn't know how he knew it, but he knew it. I guess he did the little SEO stuff as magic. But he found out what cities were coming to my thing, and I was like, "Lonnie, how did you know that?" And he goes, "Well, I blah 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 this and that." And I was like, "Holy shit!" And we both the haunted house and the junk removal service, we both target. It's kind of like similar as a junk removal owner. We identify who needs our services. We have homeowners that are decluttering, businesses that are renovating, businesses that need stuff moved, individuals that are moving, etc., whatever. And we tailor our marketing and our service offerings to meet those specific needs, just like a haunted house does. Just like a haunted house does. It was surprising to me how we relate to other people. Oh, here's another thing. You know how we adapt to the seasonal demands? We know when it's going to be slow. We know when it's going to be busy. Haunted houses are the same thing. We have a peak season, and that is September, October, November. We know in junk removal that February, March, and April are really good months for us. We know that. And that's another thing that I realized out there, that we adapt for dramatic peaks, and you're likely to see fluctuations related to like junk removal seasons and spring cleaning and post-holiday decluttering. But both businesses both plan, and potentially we adjust our resources to these cycles in the seasons. And that was another thing I noticed. That was the last one, actually. I just wrote that one down. But overall, what's interesting is how many things are almost the same as junk removal. Okay, so here's something that we're all going to go, whoa, I didn't realize that. So as I'm talking to, I'm a very talkative person at this conference, and I was talking to everybody. I would just I would like nudge somebody, "Hey, where are you from?" And in Boston. "Where are you from?" New Jersey. "Where are you from?" "What haunted house?" This and that. As I'm communicating with these guys, most of their money spent on the haunted house, you're not going to believe this, is on the furniture that they use in the haunted house and the sets that they set up. What do you think of that one? What do you think of that? It is expensive for any haunted house owner to remove a set and then replace a set. It costs them thousands of dollars. When I told them who I was and what I do, you should have seen their eyes light up, and they were going, "Man, you're a genius. Oh man, that's smart. You own a haunted house and you started a junk removal business?" I was like, "No, man. I had a junk removal business and I started a haunted house." Yeah. And I'll tell you, yeah, Vince, it was really cool. You should have seen their eyes light up, because my eyes are lighting up. I'm like a little puppy, right? And they're telling me these numbers, and my eyes like, man, I hope I'll be there one day. I'm just dreaming and blessing to the Lord that I'll get there one day. But their eyes lit up at how much money I save because of my sets, because of my scenes, because of the furniture and the equipment that I use. And oh man, They're like, wow, that's a great idea. And they were like, well, do you know any local company? Which I don't know anybody in Pennsylvania, but do you know any local companies you think we should reach out to them? And I'm like, I have no idea. But it was such a huge advantage. And, you know, Marco, anybody else, you know, Florida has a lot of haunted houses. I know that there's haunted house all over, but what an advantage as a small, low man on the totem pole business that we have in junk removal for a haunted house. You think about that. How much money could Hanario save a haunted house during Halloween? How much money could Indio save a haunted house? Money is what, 150? $90,000, $80,000. I know that I outfitted my haunted house with the junk that Orson and that I was bringing in on a daily basis for the haunted house. Well, we didn't. Well, here's the thing. I'm going to get to the junk guys Philly thing too. It was such a surprise of how we are so small, but we help out these $1 million companies. And oh my God, I was just blown away by that. But everybody that I talked to, they were like, oh, junk removal, that's great. And they were like this, they would say something like that. Oh, so you started a haunted house and then started the junk removal business to get the, and I was like, no. And you should have seen their faces. They're like, well, what? And I go, I owned a junk removal business and then started a haunted house. And they're like, oh, you're so smart. And I'm like, no, man, no. This kind of was like a fucking joke to run a haunted house to me. But I also saw the advancement that we've been in 4 years, that what took people like 10 or 15 years, because there's such a huge advantage that I have with my family helping me out with the haunted houses that other people don't have, because it's a husband and wife team. You know what I mean? And I guess that was a question that I should have asked y'all, is what kind of advantages do I have as a junk removal owner for a haunted house? For a haunted house. And the weird thing about it, Marco, because I know you like SEO a lot, but the weird thing about it, not only am I a junk removal owner, but I'm an SEO expert when it comes to my website. Now, I'm saying expert when it comes to the Junk Guys website. I didn't say junk removal. I said Junk Guys website. I am an expert when it comes to my websites, to building them. And the same way that I built my junk removal websites is the same way that I built my haunted house website. And it is just, I'm pulling up the haunted house right now because I want to show it to you. It's typically, thank God it works. I built this website, and this is my haunted house website. The same things that I did for junk removal is I did for my haunted house. And there's a few problems with it, but fuck, overall it gets the job done. I put the prices, I'm not hiding the prices, I put the prices up there, the dates that were open. Some words are falling off the screen. And look at this. Now we're adding a fast pass this year. Just the same methods. Look at this one, guys. I think y'all appreciate that. You know how I joke around all the time on my website and make up dumb stuff? Look at this one. The Dallas Morning News, never heard of us. USA Today did not rank us #1 in America. Fort Worth Star Telegram did not review us. New York Times, they don't even know we exist. Texas Monthly never wrote a story about us. D Magazine hopefully recognizes this year. But people, when they look at that, they just think we're ragging about them. You see what I'm saying? Anybody got a comment about that one? Pretty nifty, huh? Pretty nifty, right? I thought that was really funny. Okay, Indio, go ahead. What's up, bro? You got a question? You like my nifty?
No, I'm good, no.
So this is, you know, and I'm showing y'all this so y'all can kind of relate over to junk removal of like what I did in the haunted house to get my haunted house popular was not anything extraordinary. You know what I mean? I set down a lot of rules. I mean, I threw out a lot of rules that other haunted houses have. And as you can tell here, guys, look, a lot of haunted houses do not allow cameras in the haunted house. And what did I say? I don't care. Bring your camera. Bring it. Come on. Another thing is everybody charges for parking. What did I do? Parking is absolutely free. And check out the keywords here, guys. Check out the keywords right here. Look at this one right here. You like that, Lonnie? You like that? Check that out. Check out this one right here. This one right here. Keywords. Keyword. And it's the same thing. The best haunted house in DFW. The best junk removal service in DFW. Fort Worth. Scariest haunted house. Fort Worth. Hardest working junk removal crew. The cheapest and most affordable haunted house. The cheapest and most affordable junk removal service. The same method. I use the same methods. And this now, and of course I threw my videos all over the place, which help out a lot. You know. No extra fees, one price. You know how a lot of junk removal owners hide from showing the prices? I don't. I just threw it up there and I showed it. That was, let me get out of that. So the same methods that I brought, and that's what, like I was telling Marco a while ago, Marco, I use my junk removal service, my skills as a self-proclaimed SEO expert, to own 200 houses. And that's the only reason I'm successful. The skills that I have on the online is such a huge advantage to other people that hire. Oh, by the way, get this shit. Oh my God. This haunted house that I was talking to, they're out of Houston, Texas. Okay. I think he was the only Texan there. Their revenue is in the millions. During the month of September and October, get this, they spend a little over $100,000 on ads pertaining to Facebook, Google, whatever, Instagram. They spent over $100,000 in just ads in September and October. So kind of give you an imagination of how big their business is. They're called the 6th floor or something like that. Not the 13th floor. They were there too, but they're called the 6th floor massacre or something like that out of Houston, Texas. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of them, but I never had heard of them. But the guy was really cool. And he's been running it for over 20 something years. But $100,000. Can you imagine, Lonnie, a junk removal company spending $100,000? I searched haunted house Dallas, Texas, and you were ranked 3rd on the first. Hey, I'm on the first page. As long as I'm on the first page. Lonnie, what are they doing to spend that much money on ads? I mean, what can they be doing for $100,000?
Not doing it themselves, contracting out, throwing money at Google, seeing if it sticks. Doing everything wrong, would be my guess.
Can you imagine, Lonnie, is like, how do they even know the return? In junk removal, we go to people's houses and we ask them how they found us. When you have 75,000 people walk into a haunted house, because that's what he told me, 75,000, which is a crap load. You can't ask 75,000 people, Lonnie. You just can't. You can't find out. Oh, I saw it on the internet. What did you see on the internet? Next person. Oh, where did you see it? On the internet. Can you explain to it? There's a line of people. You see what I'm saying, Lonnie? How can you, in junk removal, it's intimate. You're going into a house. Vince is walking into a house. He's talking to the lady. He's asking the lady, hey, how did you find us? Oh, I saw a street sign, a yard sign. You see what I mean? But when you have 75, so to give you an aspect of how big this business is, that I talked to a guy in Houston, and get this, he said he did over 75,000 people last year. We, as a business, in the junk removal business, I mean, in the haunted house business, in both haunted houses, we did about 7,500. Yeah. And they did 75,000. It's crazy, huh? How much? The longer you stay in the business, the more busier you get. And it's the same thing for junk removal. The longer that you're in the business, the more you grow your business. So it was crazy, really crazy. Just seeing some of the animatronics, some of the things that were out there. I didn't buy. Oh, by the way, it's just like the expo. You know how they're how Homeboy sells this thing. What's his name? The guy that's selling with the sleeves off. I forgot his name. Jesus. Oh my gosh, I forgot. How he's doing that new CRM. Oh my God, he's my friend too. Anybody help me out?
Andrew.
Andrew. Okay. Yeah. How Andrew is selling that CRM. There was a guy out there selling CRM for the haunted house too. Really, there was. The same gimmicks. Here's funny. The same gimmicks that they do in Junkguys, they do it in the haunted house. But you know the difference is we don't talk smack about them. Matt Bitch. There's a Matt Bitch out there for the haunted house business, but we don't talk smack about him. I'm going to tell you why I learned this. Go ahead, Lonnie. What do you got, brother? Talk to me.
Well, I was just wondering, what kind of, after talking to all these successful haunted houses in this meeting that you were at,
Mhm.
what kind of implementations are you going to do on your own to get you to the next, to the 2X?
Look at this.
I'm sure you got your wheels
Yes.
clicking, and you
Yes,
know, what if you had 3 box offices
Yes.
to facilitate this, and people moving behind the other people to keep the force moving? You know,
Yeah,
I'm
we
sure.
are a smart group today. We are a smart group asking smart questions today. Put it this way. After I came back from Pennsylvania, I had a Zoom meeting with all 4 of my family members, me, David, Maribel, and Emily, all 4 of us. I brought in my wife as the 5th person. She came in. She's not a partner in the business yet, but she came into the meeting too. And I told my group, I told them, if we're not moving forward in this business, I'm going to leave y'all behind. I immediately, yesterday, I flew in Sunday. I paid for the containers on Sunday. Monday, yesterday, I went to look at 2 properties. One was 7 acres and one was 10 acres. Because Lonnie, Field of Screams in Pennsylvania, Lancaster, Pennsylvania, has a population of $950,000. Those guys make $13 million. They have a population of 900,000 people in that vicinity, but they are pulling people from everywhere. Now they're pulling people from a pool of 10 or 15 million. I don't know how they do it. People drive hours to them, hours. We have been looking at property in Azle, and yes, my wheels are turning every single day. I'll go to sleep thinking about it. We want to build an amusement park haunted house just like he had it. We want to duplicate exactly what these guys had it, exactly what John out of Ohio had, exactly the guys from Massachusetts, what they had with the pictures that were showing me. Or I looked them up on the internet and saw them. Yeah, my wheels been turning the whole time. The wheels have been. We're trying to acquire land. It's $331,000. The problem is I have so much invested in my house, in the containers, that I didn't really think of these dreams before I start blowing money. Does that make sense? When you're tapped out, you're tapped out. And it's just so much harder for me to find that money, and where is it going to come from? Carson, you had a question?
Yeah, so what I'm going to do in Nashville, I thought I'd let everybody know since we're on the topic. So I'm opening up a haunted hayride, and I'm going to stick 50 people on the trailer, and we're going to use 1 tractor, and we're going to make way more than Dallas.
Liability. Oh, by the way, that's hilarious. I asked the guy who runs the haunted hayride, because he has 4 haunted houses, and I'll make this quick. So just to give you an idea, I asked him, I said, what is in your haunted house, what is the most profitable item you have? With not even nodding, not even thinking, he didn't go, he knew exactly. What, and I think, Carson, you know this answer, but don't answer. So I want you to think about this. We're all business owners, so I'm asking the whole group. Out of his haunted house, he has 4 haunted houses, he has food trucks, he has an axe throwing, he has a merchandise booth, he has a haunted hayride, he has a bar. concession stand. Out of all those things that he does, what is the most profitable thing and the easiest thing that he implemented to bring into that makes money? Think about it, guys. He makes $13 million a year. What is the most profitable thing he did?
Merchandise.
No. Go ahead. Keep on. Selling wieners. Nope. No food. It wasn't food. You're gonna go, what? Because we're doing it this year. After talking to him, we're doing it this year. What? And when I asked him the question, so what's the most profitable thing you've done for your business? He goes, oh, it's this. There it is. What did you say? VIP pass. That's it, Honario. You got it. The Fast Pass is the most profitable business that he has. Why? Lonnie, tell me why it's the most profitable. Someone tell me why it's the most profitable thing. Go ahead, India.
Wait.
People don't want to wait. Yeah.
Right? But why is it more profitable than anything? Think about it. Why?
Because it's double ticket.
It's double the ticket. But why? Why? Why?
Convenience.
What?
It's convenience.
It's convenience. He told me to implement the Fast Pass, it didn't cost him anything. That was his big deal. He goes, when I put the Fast Pass in, we didn't do anything different. I said, well, I mean, you had to send them. No, we just cut them in line and they paid an extra $20. And I was like, you genius. He goes, you'd be surprised how many people will do it for the convenience. The VIP Fast Pass. And I was like, what? It's the same service, Carson. You're absolutely, guys, listen to this. They're not going in there with a t-shirt and a hot dog. They're not having some guys in Thailand making shirts for them. They're not having Cisco or, one of the big food companies bringing in hot dogs. No, they're not doing anything. They're just implementing a Fast Pass and they're making money off of it. It's genius. They're not doing anything different. They're just cutting people in line. That's it. He said it was the easiest thing to implement and he'll never go back. The Fast Pass is the number one thing. And surprising to me, one out of three groups does it. And I was just like, what? We can make so much money. We can make so much money. Well, I'm glad, Honario, out of everybody, you got it right. You were right. You were absolutely right on this. And Lonnie, convenience. It's convenience at no cost, no expense. It didn't cost him anything to implement. Unlike the merchandise booth, he has his $100,000 merchandise diesel truck that he opens the side doors on, and he has merchandise open. Now, you imagine how long it took him to pay it off. But and his booth and his axe throwing and all the other stuff, the food trucks that he owns and everything. Go ahead, Indio.
Hey, would you know how you go to these amusement parks and they do photos? Would that be?
Yeah.
Would that make money?
Yeah, that he put that in there. He said he doesn't. Oh, so he takes losses on two things, and it's not the photo booth. It's not the photo booth. His two losses is the axe throwing. They don't make any money off it. It's just more a convenience, Lonnie, to the customers. But Indio, the thing that he does take a big loss on is the haunted hayride. And I asked him, he said, liability, and insurance. And I was like, wow, so why do you offer it? He said, when I got the business from my father, that's where he started with the haunted hayride. And I was like, oh, so we kept the haunted hayride. Yeah. He does do photo ops. He didn't mention the photo ops as a profitable business or a lost business, but he does it. He said, we offer photo ops and it's great for the customers. But he didn't say it. He didn't specifically. I don't think it's a big part of his business. You know what I mean, Indio?
Yeah.
I don't think it's a big part where he even brought it up. But he did go down the line on what he makes money on and what he doesn't make money on.
Have one of your guys dress up as Beetlejuice or something, man, and you know who.
So it was pretty cool. And guys, there are so many opportunities for us. One of the guys that I was talking to, and I'll say this really quick. He said, wow, you used junk removal as a stepping stone to open haunted houses, didn't you? And I said, I guess I did. I'll leave you with that so y'all can think about that, guys. Thanks for staying tuned. We will talk next week, next Tuesday night. But think about what I said, how I use a stepping stone in junk removal to open a haunted house.
You never mentioned Philly, man.
Oh, Junk Guys Philly. So I went to go talk to the guy who's a complete idiot. He was a complete idiot. His work ethic was awful. I can usually check somebody and look at him. So I went down.
way. Stop playing.
Yeah. He was a complete idiot, bro. You don't want to know, bro. Yeah, but I'll tell you this in private because he's probably watching this video. But he'd been contacting me for months and months and months and months, sending me emails, IMs on Facebook, blah, blah, blah. And I talked to him a couple of times on the phone. I said, hey, I'm going down to Pennsylvania. You want to meet me? He goes, yeah, we'll go have lunch. He bought me lunch, which was really cool. We got down there and I talked to him. And then the first minute I knew that I was only getting a free lunch out of this. He wasn't a hard worker. You could tell. I looked at his hands. He doesn't have rough hands. I looked at his demeanor. He was dumb. He was not that smart. You could tell he wasn't willing to put in the work that you do on SEO, the videos, the stuff. Marco, the work that you do, he was never going to get close to that. I don't think he owned a computer, by the way. I have no idea. But he was like, and I said, no, brother, no, thank you. And I just told him no. So there will be no Junk Guys Philly, but I did go down there. It was a coincidence that I remembered that he'd been asking. So I went out there. Rough hands and stains won't come out. That's true. That is forever true. But in the first minute, bro, he was off the record. I was like, oh. But we sat there and we talked for about 2 hours. We did talk for about 2 hours.
Dang. What'd y'all go eat?
We got these big. We actually took me to a Philly shop because I told him I wanted Philly from Philadelphia, so we took Philly. It was it had chili, it had the meat, it had pickles, mustard. Kind of threw me off with the mustard, salsa.
Do you remember the first time we met? When we went and ate?
No, what did we eat?
We went to Jimmy John's,
and we got those hot peppers, didn't we?
Yeah, it was some sandwiches.
Yeah. I think I had diarrhea for a long time. Yeah.
Yo, did you have rough hands, bro?
Well, my hands are always fucking rough. Look,
no, but I look like a Mexican and I worked hard.
Yeah.
So
No, but his how Vince contacted me the right way at the right time, and it just worked out really good for him and Vince. It was a blessing for him. It was a blessing for me. So it worked out really, really good on time. Timing was perfect for us. Yeah. All right, guys. I'll see everybody next Tuesday. All right. Have a great one, man.
Have a nice
all right, brother.
Good night, guys.